Uganda could enter the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran.
A senior African general just made a statement that could pull the entire continent into war. And almost nobody is talking about what it really means. Let's dive in. As the war between Iran and Israel and America intensifies and there is no sign of letting up, there is one military leader who made one statement in Africa that could draw other African nations into the conflict. But this is not our war. Could Africa join this war?
Uganda's Chief of Defence Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, suggested that Uganda could enter the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran in support of Israel.
Support Israel? General Muhoozi Kainerugaba said he will support Israel. But this is nothing new. There are many African countries that support and have close relationships with Israel. For example, Eastern region of Africa. Countries like Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Rwanda, they have strongest ties in security and military. North Africa, Morocco and Egypt, strongest in strategic and geopolitical ties. What about West Africa, Ghana, Ivory Coast? They are more economic and diplomatic, but there are other countries against Israel. And these countries are strongly against what is going on as well. Countries such as South Africa, Algeria, Tunisia and Namibia. And this is surprising because Africa should stay out. This is not our war. We should mind our own business and stay out. And I will tell you why we should stay out as we go further into the video. I'm going to reveal something that will definitely shock you. There is a valid and compelling reason why Africa should stay out. But why General Muhoozi made such an aligning statement while his father is saying that they are friends with everyone?
Come amid raging regional tensions following recent US and Israeli strikes on Iran and subsequent retaliatory attacks. General Muhoozi, who is also the son of Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, said on X, and I quote, "We want the war in West Asia to end now. The world is tired of it. But any talk of destroying or defeating Israel will bring us into the war on the side of Israel." Kainerugaba has also drawn in attention in recent weeks for announcing plans to erect a statue honoring Jonathan Netanyahu, the brother of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Jonathan was killed while leading Israeli commandos during the 1976 hostage rescue in Uganda.
I understand that in the past, Israel and Uganda have really close ties, as you've heard about Benjamin Netanyahu's brother, who led the military commander and led the military into combat in Uganda. So you can see where the alliance is coming from. But his father nonetheless is saying that we are friends with everyone and we have non-alignment and we should stay neutral like other African countries.
The Israelis are our friends. The Iranians are our friends. The UAE are our friends. The Qataris are our friends. The Saudis, the Americans. And when they were fighting last year, I put out, you know, I am chairman of the non-aligned movement. Up to now, I am still chairman.
Is he contradicting his son? His son seems to say that if it comes to it, he will take a side. His father is saying that I'm the chairman of the non-alliance movement, and Africa is also saying the same thing.
The West Asia conflict has intensified since late February, with continued exchanges of drone and missile strikes involving Israel, US and Iran. as well as impacts across neighboring countries. Despite South Africa accusing Israel of genocide in a landmark case with the International Court of Justice, many African countries have chosen to remain neutral, with some deepening military and economic ties with Israel. Israel has been able to maintain strong ties through agreements with multiple other East African nations, including Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Rwanda.
But why many countries, particularly those also from the African Union, chose to stay neutral? But there is the uncomfortable question: why should Africa get involved in a war on behalf of countries that haven't always stood with Africa on issues that matters most? The debate gets deeper because for many, the question isn't just about war. It is about whether Africa should support nations that haven't always supported them in return. And here is the bombshell.
The gravest crime against humanity. That's how the United Nations General Assembly has voted to recognise the transatlantic slave trade. The landmark resolution was led by Ghana and goes beyond simple acknowledgements, asking nations involved to consider apologies, paying reparations and returning stolen artefacts. The resolution passed even though the US voted against it and over 50 countries abstained.
50 countries abstain? Who are these 50 countries? Come on. Africa is a continent that everyone loves, and Africa always come to their aid when they need it most. I mean, you heard Uganda talking about helping Israel, so I presume that Israel voted to make the resolution pass, and America, right? Because we're always there for them. Well, let's see.
It's a move towards justice and healing. The UN General Assembly voted to recognise the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime in human history. On Wednesday, Ghana's President John Mahama came here to the UN in person to promote this resolution put forward by his country.
We come together in solemn solidarity to affirm truth and pursue a route to healing and reparative justice. The adoption of this resolution serves as a safeguard against forgetting.
This resolution calls for formal global recognition of this historical crime and opens the door for reparatory justice measures. It also urges the restitution of stolen works of art. Well, the vote in the General Assembly was passed with 123 votes in favour, 3 against and 52 abstentions. Argentina, Israel and the United States were the 3 members that voted against the resolution.
What did I just hear? I heard Argentina, I heard the United States. Who else?
Argentina, Israel and the United States.
You mean Israel, that an African country? Yes, Uganda said that they're willing to send their soldier to bleed for Israel and fight against the enemy. Just voted against recognition of one of the gravest sin ever created by mankind and reparation. Did you just hear that? Africa, stay out of it. This is not your war. This is not your fight. And this is not your responsibility. Stay out. Because this one statement made by the Ugandan head of military could drag African nations into war, and we do not want that. I know it's over to you. I told you we're going to get a bombshell. Africa has no business in any of this, and they should stay out and try and rebuild their country, unite, get together and fight for justice. Do you believe that any African country should go and fight for any foreign country despite previous or historical alliance, especially when that country is fighting against it and its social and economical development as a result of one of the gravest social injustice ever perpetuated against a nation by those who not only seek to block the recognition of such a grave act, but also abstain and voted against such recognition. Or do you think that Africa has a duty to defend these countries because these countries was there for it in the past? Please enter your comments below. Let's have a discussion and a debate about this. So I'd like to thank you very much for your time, and I shall see you on the other topic.